This one that you weren't sure because there was information that didn't jive with other information that you had. What is it about this census entry for him that should ring alarm bells about all the data that's here? He's a boarder in a boarding house. Did he talk to the enumerator?
Probably not.
Shows his mother is Swiss born too on here. See that?
Right.
I feel like this is my guy. Number one, he's born in Germany. The date fits, but Mabel Carr being in this house also, right. And Mabel Carr ends up being his wife before the 1920 census, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's interesting that he says that here it is in 1910, and he says he arrived in 1906 and has papers. That could be the date that he filed his papers. We do know that that is not the date he arrived, because we have these other sources, the voting registration for 1892 that shows he's there. So we'll just attach
and
that.
On the censuses, it says that he arrived in 1888.
Right. He's one of them. The 1930 said he arrived in 1888. The 1920 said he arrived in 1890.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can come down with a 1900 census. We expect to find him in that area of Northern California. Yeah. So let's get rid of the Germany, and let me ask you this. Has he been consistent in where he and when he was born? In 1910, he said he was born in 1870.
Yes, it's been very consistent on the year.
Okay, and again 1870. Okay, so we're pretty comfortable, 1870, we're pretty comfortable with that year span. And just for my sanity, I like to get rid of everything else. But I do want to put a residence in California, and we're going to make that a restriction because we know that he's in Sacramento in the 1892 voter registration, which is somewhere here. And we know that he is in Sacramento in the 1910 census. So let's see if we can find him in the 1900 census. And so I'm going to narrow it down immediately to, it doesn't find that. Okay, so now let's see if we can, let's get rid of Wortman, and let's put Germany, but not restricted. And let's see if we find anything. And we've got 1880, but I really don't think that we'll have him in the 1880. Okay, so what else can we do? Oh wait, here's 1900. All right. So we've got 292, and we could scroll through those, but let's first scroll down here to the filter section. And we're going to filter his residence place. We've got the United States, and we're going to look at only those in California. And now we're going to filter for those that are in Northern California. So I'm going to ignore these 34 in Los Angeles. Alameda, that's possible, but I'm really looking for Placer County would be nice, Sacramento County. Let's take a look at them first. And we don't expect him to be married. Do we have, and we do have his birth in January of 1869. So May, December, July, April, 67, no. Let's just take a look at the, here he's married and he has children. Oh, let's take a look and see what name does he typically go by. He went by the initials AF. He used his full name in the voting register, no surprise. He went by Anton F on his death index. Anton F, Anton F. Let's look for an Anton F. So let's see if we've got an Anton F. Again, I'm going to take Germany out. I'm going to be in California. Let's see what we've got. Just Anton F. Fritz, which is not looking good unless he's a bookkeeper. And Anton, Germany, Germany. He's a day laborer, so he's definitely not our guy. Let's see if we can find anything more with these registers.
There's 3 of them. There's 1894, 96, and 98, I believe.
Okay. So let's
I
look
didn't
at,
know how to tell if those were him or not. And again, so I don't match it because I'm thinking, I don't know if that's him.
let's just look at this collection and see what it is. What years does it cover? So we've got what's in the collection, created every year, available from 1867 to 1944. So it looks like $1900 is available also at Ancestry. So FamilySearch, I know they've got some at FamilySearch because we've been seeing them. Now, another thing you want to do is you also want to check different indexers. So we'll check that Ancestry one. And I want to go back to the ones that we do know about. And let's, so he's in Sacramento, 1896. Let's see what we've got here, just to see what they tell us.
Yeah.
So they're set up in
Wortman with 2 N's.
Wortman with 2 N's, but he is listed as a laborer. Oh, that's interesting. They have his description
Oh.
and age and his street address. That is so cool. Okay, so I want to go back and look at, well, let's just say review it and match it.
What was his occupation, or did anybody ever see
Laborer.
Well, after he's married and everything, he works in fruit. I guess you would say I don't know that he owned it, but he had a partner with a type of fruit business.
This is interesting that it's not giving me the option to browse the collection. Okay, let's just see Wortman and looking in Sacramento. Let's do that for the whole period. So it doesn't have any Wortman at all in Sacramento. Let's go back and look at what we did see. So Wortman, W-O-R-T-M-A-N-N, the 2 N's that you pointed out, and it does have him in Sacramento. So why doesn't it have that here? Sacramento, the register. Well, that is most perplexing. So we've got, what do I have? No filters on? Why is it not letting me search this at all?
Oh, well, you're on FamilySearch. I thought you were on Ancestry.
I went to the collection by the URL. All right. We go to the California Great Registers. I just want to open this. We can certainly browse the collection to our heart's content. Let's see if we can find that film number in the catalog. And so they say the index is available online. Okay, here we go. So I wanted to see if we had a 1900, and we do. We have the A through D, E through Q, R through Z. So we should be able to see him in this set. And let's see what we're looking here. So we're looking at R through Z for the year 1900. That's in alphabetical order. So let's figure these are going to be the R's, correct? Good. And if I zoom out, we can see where this collection ends.
Neat trick.
And the next one begins. And so here is the end of it. You'll see this should be Z. Okay, so we're looking for the W's, and they're going to be somewhere between 1 and 544. So I go into West. I want to go to the beginning of the W's just to make sure that I don't get careless.
Darn, you're good.
And I'm still not at the beginning of the W's. Okay. Because now notice they do have them in a sort of alphabetical order, WA. So actually, let's try looking for WO first.
There's a wart
Where?
right there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's wait.
Okay. So let's see if we can find a WO first. And this is WE. And this is WO. Let's go through. All right, so we've got WOO, and we have, that is a WORM. So the WORs are mixed in with the WOOs. I'm
going to interrupt you for a second, Kate. You sparked my curiosity when you found that street address and when you opened up the thing. So I went to the California Voters Registration in 1892, and I'm reading it on Ancestry, and the line goes across. Of course, I went on the wrong computer. Let me show y'all my screen.
Let me have you show me. Hold on, let me.
But it says he's naturalized by virtue of his father's record is what struck me, and it's got more information there about that, and it has a date. And that's what I was really wanting to.
Good
ask
point.
you about that.
He is not going to be voting if he's not a citizen.
Amen. Good, good, good.
Good point. So, or you can post the link and I can pull it up.
I think I'd be better off doing that.
Okay.
When you read across his line when you get there, it says by virtue of father naturalization, Sacramento, September 29, 1892. I'm trying to understand what does that mean exactly? He's allowed to vote by virtue of his father's naturalization?
If he was under the age of 18 and his father was naturalized when he was still a child, then he became a naturalized citizen on the basis of his father's naturalization.
Questions I've been wondering, was his father still over in Germany, or did his father come here? But this would say to me that his father came here.
Right, his father came here, and the reason you're not finding a naturalization record for Anton is there isn't one.
Because he became naturalized.
Because he became naturalized because of his father. Oh, this has just been fascinating.
Would that apply to
Ethel was naturalized on the basis of her husband.
So she wouldn't have her own paperwork?
She would not have her own paperwork. All right, so we can see right here that the WOOs are mixed in with the WORs. So
There he is. Whoa, 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 right
no,
there.
look, here, they do have WOO and then WOL. Oh, they're not in alphabetical order.
But he's there.
Right. So we want to find him for the, okay, so we've got, what year is this?
1892.
Okay, Sacramento
And
County.
it does give a residence for him in 1892.
How do we know 1892?
Well, because when I searched it, that's what it told me. Also, when I link it, it tells me his residence is 1892.
I want to see something because I'm looking up here. Great Register, Sacramento, name, date, no date. I don't see a date. I voted. Visible marks. Naturalization date, date of registration. Okay, so that's the registration date. That was, okay. All right. So, and when we look,
The 1892, how do I know that's the date of the naturalization? Or when you, by virtue of his father, when you scroll, it says September 29th, 1892.
right.
Does
So
that mean his naturalization date, or does that mean the date that
this is the day he registered to vote.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of document is that? It looks like a book that's printed on a printer.
Right, because this is a voting register, so they want to be able to verify that people, they actually printed the people who are registered to vote in newspapers in some places, so that if you
That's what it looks like. It looks like it's a typeset type thing.
right, so this would have been printed like, you know, so it would have been a ledger. All right, so I wanted to see if we could find him. Now I want 5 different things right now. One thing.
What do you want? Let's find it.
One thing that I want to do is I want to use the register. I want to find him in 1900
Right.
because I want to see if we can find that address. And then we can search the address in the 1900 census. So I am looking for that sheet that I was looking at here. All right. So the WOs end on this page. The next page is the, no, I lied.
Don't be doing that, girl.
I know, I'm sorry. All right, so we have WU. We'll just go through all of them. And here's WR, WO. I'm going to make this full screen. and Woodruff. So yell out if you see it. I'm going to go really fast. It would be good if one of you or more of you would focus on the given names.
There he is.
Where?
I have to take this phone call.
Oh, I see him. Here he is. All right. So we have Wortman, Antone Ferdinand.
5'10", light blue. All of
Right.
that so far.
Germany.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Who's that?
By virtue of his father.
right. 317
No, it's the one above it.
Oh, right. Okay, you're right. Okay, Germany. He's in Sacramento County by virtue of father. That sucks. All we've got is Sacramento. We don't have an address. Well, what the hell, guy? The other ones have addresses.
Cannot
Okay,
get into my Ethel, y'all.
but we do know two things. He might be listed as Wortman, and
Two ends again.
right. So we definitely have him. Now he's listed here as age 22. So that would have been 1868. We still should have seen
In
him.
19, he should be 30 or 29 or 30 years old.
Right. I can do math, just not often. Okay. So
why is this saying he's 22?
All right. So let's look for him in the 1900 census. So I'm going to I'm just going to go do this way. And I mean, that could be an M, probably an Anton with something at the end. So I'm going to restrict that. And let's do
Holy
18.
cow, these first four are all him.
Right. Those are the registrations. And
There's one street address.
we want, yeah, but we're looking for the 1900 census. So we're looking for Sacramento, California, and he is there. How many Antons are there? Oh, there I bet he is. Nortman. All right.
1940.
Oh, damn it.
And we have that
So-
one tagged.
Yeah, that would be, I was like, wait a minute, he wasn't married yet. Okay, so let's narrow this down to 1900. And we've just got these two guys, and they're both married. And could he have been married before he married Mabel? But the thing is, we know in 1910 he's living in the reason that I don't discard this out of hand is the nickname for a German is Fritz.
Oh, yeah,
So-
Fritzy, yep.
They could have, thought of him as Anton Fritz. So here we have him in 1900 that he'd been married 5 years. It says he's born in July of 1869.
Wife Lillian.
And that he has 2 children, one still living.
Sad.
He's
That's
working
not
as
our
a day laborer.
That's not a guy. He's not married yet, and he doesn't have 2 children.
How do you know that?
Well, I don't know. Let me check.
So
I know there's obituary, there's his wife's obituary that he only had the 1 child.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Anton Fritz. I'm going to go over and I'm going to create an unconnected person.
Every day.
Anton F. Fritz. He's male and he's dead.
Well, remember in the 1910 census where we found him and Mabel, they're both single in 1910.
Right. So his wife may have left him. He may have left his wife. His wife and his son may have died.
Or Mabel.
What was
Guys,
that?
I have to leave, so carry on and I'll see you next week, okay?
Okay.
Have a good week, girl.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Could have been married previously before Mabel.
What was that?
You're saying that he could have had a previous marriage before Mabel?
He could have.
Right.
All right.
Okay,
He haven't married yet.
look at
They
his
will be married
application.
between 1910 and 1920, but they haven't gotten married yet.
Somebody just said,
Yes, I can't hear.
Look at his marriage registry for the Mabel, because it'll say whether he's been married previously.
it will say whether he is admitted to have been married previously.
Oh, okay, you got a point.
All right. So I'm going to attach this record to the Anton Fritz that I've just created. So I want to change the person in the tree to that profile that I just made. And we've got his wife, Lillian, and we're going to create her and add this information. And we've added this. But when you come up with something like this, don't hesitate to create these spurious profiles. They are real records. So somebody is going to want to attach this record to somebody in the tree someday. You've done it. Now, if they come and they find that you've attached it to their family member and their family member is Anton Fritz, they will merge this number with their own Anton Fritz's number. But we want to have somebody that we can research. So we've got an Anton Fritz born in July 1869. Ancestry thing, FamilySearch suggests there might be a 1910 record for him. Living in Oakland, that's looking pretty good. With a wife, Lillian, a son, Anton. Definitely, that's our man. So I'm just going to go and attach this to Anton Fritz and his wife and his son. And I don't know these people, but I do know that based on the record, they exist. Now, the reason that I want to do this is that now when I am doing a search for Anton, if I find this record, I can see, oh, that's attached to the tree. I don't have to be distracted by that record again. I can say, oh, I want to know, okay, it's an Anton Fritz. They've got 2 records. Is it really a different man? What records do they have that prove that he's a different man? Oh, they've got the 1910 census. Well, I already have my Anton F in 1910 census. living in the same boarding house with Mabel. So I know this can't be him. Okay, maybe there's the slight off chance that he, you know, went by a different name. But here we've got, you know, he had other daughters, Catherine, Lillian. So definitely this Anton is not ours. And let's take a look at this Anton Schmitt. And he was born around 1860, probably too late. We've got a wife with several children. So we're confident that that's not it. My lesson today is very narrow. We know this man was living in Sacramento County in 1900. I want to find him somehow. Now, a couple of other...
Truckee, Nevada, it looks like.
That could well be.
Because this record that I just attached, he's in Truckee. And I guess that's Nevada.
Is that the, what are you looking at?
Yeah, it is
I believe
Nevada.
it is.
Attached it to FamilySearch. It is the, what is this called? Great Registers.
Okay.
And he's in Nevada in 1898. Is that right?
Huh.
Okay. So
Interesting.
Truckee is, yeah,
Truckee
Yeah,
is not far from
Truckee's in
Sacramento, like
No.
about an hour and a half,
right.
2 hours, somewhere in there.
I'm glad you guys know this.
It automatically saved it to my, that's good to see. So, okay, that's good to see. I will deal with that later. So you've just added that to his, so you've got it for
In his
1898.
sources, yes.
Okay.
And it
Oh.
says that he was naturalized on August 1st, 1875. If that's the case, we should be able to find him in the 1880 census, and maybe that would help us figure out where he was in 1900.
Right. Now, there's
a
another thing, which is that there's got to be, in the 1880 census, if he was naturalized with his father, then we would find another Wortman.
Yeah.
So, so we've got 1892, 94, 96, 98. It looks like FamilySearch has him in the even years, and I did find this was the 1900, was this right? Right, this is the one that we looked at where Germany, by virtue of father's naturalization, what's the 10-4 mean? Precinct 10-4. Okay. So another thing that I want to check. All right, so he's registered by virtue of his father. And so he registered on September 27th. In Sacramento is the post office. So first off is I want to attach this to the tree. So it's not giving me the option to attach to the tree. Sometimes they want me to, they don't have this indexed. So that's why it doesn't let me attach to the tree. Does it let me attach it to the source box? Let's add it to my source box. And we're going to edit this for Anton F. Wortman in Great Registers 1900. I'll leave it in my home folder. So now I'm going to go to Anton sources, and I'm going to add the source from the source box. And there it is. So if that happens, you saw that shortcut that I used.
If I can remember it. I always understand when you're doing it in front of me, but as I go off to myself.
What I want you to do is when you get stymied, when it says, it won't let me attach. You know, why won't it let you attach? Maybe it's because.
Well, I had already attached that record.
Not this one. This is the 1900.
Oh, okay.
So the image index, if you look at here, you will see the image index has these little documents next to a person's name. And if you open that little document, it takes you to the index page for that document. Now, in this case, it's telling us this is not indexed. Okay, great. What else can I do? So I want you to look around and think, what else can I do? And I want you to look for source box. The other option is it says you can't download it. Well, that stinks. But it does let us add it to the source box.
And you can always do a screenshot, right? When you can't download something.
Right, you could
Or do
do
you
a
get
screen.
trouble for that? Like if you screenshot it and then attach it, like is there a reason for copyright laws or something? You're not supposed to do that?
But the problem that you'd have is that you would have to have multiple shots. You'd have to do a screenshot of this part and a screenshot. So that's an option, because if you go way out so that it is all here.
I tend to do one of the whole thing, even though it's hard to see, and then go in and do the
Exactly.
extras. So
Good
if anybody
thing
ever
to do.
questions it, that it was all one piece.
Right. So you've got this that shows the pages. In fact, you could go here and we've got the whole picture here. And so I'm going to do, let's see, I have this snipping tool. I'll do a new snip, and I'm going to actually get the film page number and everything and save that to my computer. And
record of him coming over.
So I'm going to save that to my downloads. Now, when we look at that, we've got, okay, let's go here. So that's where you've got a little loss of resolution. But if you use this as an index copy, and then as Tina described, go in and take close-up pictures, then you've got the full detail that you want, and you've got this picture that holds it all together. Okay, so now there's a whole lot of different questions that have begun to come up, and so I would suggest, because we are humans, we're going to go in and we're going to add a to-do list for Anton. And One is the 1898 Great Register lists that, what was that was that the one that said he was naturalized in 1875?
Yes, August 1st, 1875. And it's the,
Five. And does that one also say by virtue of his father?
it doesn't, I don't think it specifies that, but let me double
And-
check.
Later registers.
No, this one, it doesn't specify that.
Okay, so look for Wortman registration in California in 1875.
Is his name got a T in it?
But it does say he was naturalized August 1st, 1875 in San Francisco, California.
Excellent. Okay. And then the other thing is the 1900.
I don't know if that part matters, but the 4th District Court.
Yes, everything helps.
Okay.
Now we know exactly what to
In the
look
4th
for.
District Court.
Okay, and the 1900 Great Register lists him residing in Sacramento, registered in, where is he?
Sources.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
If mine would load up for me. I keep trying to do the sources for you so I can tell you. I'm still waiting for mine to load.
Okay, so this has him Sacramento County Precinct 10-4. Okay.
What was the Great Register? Was something that California did for people?
No, that's the voting register.
Oh,
Everybody
that's-
did it.
Oh, okay.
And California is letting us see them.
Oh, okay.
So that is,
You may want to note that in that 1898 Great Register, that's in Nevada.
okay.
That's the Truckee, Nevada Register on
Okay.
your number 1 at the top.
List that he registered, so 1898, Truckee, Nevada.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the 1900 Great Register lists them residing in Sacramento. We
Okay,
haven't,
I know I keep interrupting, but you guys seem to be more familiar with that side of the country. It says Nevada County. Does
yes, I was saying Truckee, that's in
It is
California.
Okay, so okay, that's what I was going to say. Wait a minute, maybe this isn't Nevada, but it's California, Nevada County.
Right,
So that's California. I'm learning.
Yeah.
right.
Y'all have to forgive me. I am geographically challenged once you get.
But
Okay,
it's
no
right.
problem.
Border. It's right on the border of the two states.
So, the 1898 register listed him in Nevada County. So, can I find a precinct map for California for 1900 that shows where precinct 10-4 is? Okay, and then the next thing is we want to, if he naturalized in 1875, find him in the 1880 census. And my next question is, if he was naturalized by virtue of his father's naturalization, and I don't care about the spelling anymore, in 1875, when did his father need to arrive? Could Dad have been in the US in 1870?
I was wondering that myself, like he came here and established himself and then sent for the family.
Right.
As many times.
So
they did.
check for naturalization law. Is Diane still with us?
No, she said goodbye, that she had to go.
Darn it, I was going to ask her to check the law on that. She would get the joke. She does not like law
Oh,
for this time period.
I thought maybe
okay.
it was a Cotter thing.
All right. So now we've got, this is attached to his to-do list. I'm also going to save it for a moment and I'll show you why. All right, so we've got that on the to-do list, and that means that everybody who works on Anton will be able to see this, and they will be able to add comments as they find answers to this. Now, I can also add to my to-do list on my own personal page. So if I click back up here on the tree icon for FamilySearch, that takes me to my home page. And there are these boxes here, recommended tasks, recent people, and a to-do list. I can actually paste
All that stuff, okay.
all that stuff in.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've got a to-do list, and I could even, can I go in and edit it? So can I say, yeah, Anton F. Wortman. So I've got my Anton F. Wortman to-do list on my home page. So I can rack these up and have, I could also break these apart if I wanted to and make them
Separate.
All right. So when you start to get lots of information and I want to check this, I want to check this, I want to check this. Now, back to finding him in 1900. We've not had any luck with FamilySearch. Let's go to Ancestry, which uses a different set of indexers. And so we're looking for Ancestry. We want to not get distracted. We're going to look for, right off the bat, the 1900 federal census. I got all these cool voter registrations I want to look at.
It's pages of it. It's
I know.
aggravating. I couldn't get to the census for these pages and pages of that.
All right, so now we're looking at just the 1900 census. And so now let's start narrowing down. We know that he was living in Sacramento County, California, or one of its adjacent counties. So that's one of the things that we like about Ancestry, is that it gives us this option of looking at adjacent counties. So let's see what we've got here. We don't have anything. So let's try, let's assume that they've killed the Wortman. Let's first do a look for any Wortman at all and see if we've got anything. We've got
Eddie E. Murgatroyd.
Will Wortman, and that's in San Joaquin County. Born in Rhode Island. Yeah, less excited about them. This is a guy who's on a military base. No, I'm not happy about that. All right, so let's go back and do a search for any Antons. And do search for sounds like or similar. And what have we got? So we've got 233. And now notice that I just want to scroll through them and just see if anything comes out really good. I have 233 is a lot. What else can I do here? I can put in the birth month. We had him born, what did that record say?
January of 1869.
1869. What the heck? See if we've got any Antons born in January of 1869. We have 25 of them.
Only 25.
Right. Well, that's
Okay.
easier. So Biaz, Morrison, Goulart, Lubomir, Masoni, Anderson, Ragoti, Vieira, Lagari. There's that Fritz again. Souza, Williams, Rosa, Brezel, Vieira, Pearson, Pfister, Vieira, Betancourt, Maringo.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. And we don't have anything for January at all. Let's expand his year to ±1. Maybe it was January of 1870. And the maximum we can get. So Anton Francis, and he's a widower.
From Portugal. His parents
Yeah.
are Portuguese.
Anton Silva, another Anton Francis. Anton Inderbitson. And he's married already. He's at a dairy. Tonella. All right, let's get rid of the name Anton. I'm beginning now to question whether, because I can't believe that they could have butchered the name that badly. Let's look up for an Anton born in Germany. Let's look for a January 1869 born in Germany. And I'm going to make it ±1 year. Okay. And do a quick scan through. Next page. Nope. Don't see anything there.
Antoine Morrison.
He's a servant.
What was our guy? What is his job?
He's a day laborer.
Oh, okay.
Later, he becomes a fruit shipper.
This guy's with other Morrisons. 15 years in the U.S. And getting closer to the end, guy. I don't like that one. Here's our Fritz. And here's our last page. Okay.
A question. Wouldn't there be a record of him coming from Germany into the United States? Like,
By Germans to America. There's a book by that name.
Right. Let's add that to our to-do list. Let's edit. Okay. Check. Index.
A lot of the Ostfriesen wound up in there. We don't know what Mr. Wortman is, but he doesn't sound Ostfriesen. His name is too sane. What
Now,
can I say?
the reason that I am not chasing after these other things is that ultimately I'm going to want to go back to this question of the 1900 census. And when I do, I don't want to repeat what I've done. So I want to stay on this
gotcha.
until I have exhausted my ideas. We've done quite a lot of different things about this 1900 census. And I think that we need to do a debrief of all of the things that we've done in case we don't find him and we do end up on another day having to go back and look. So we searched both Ancestry and FamilySearch for, well, actually, let's go for, we searched FamilySearch. Somebody tell me some of the things that remember. We searched for Wortman in Sacramento.
And adjacent counties.
And adjacent counties. We searched for Anton. We searched for, did we search for German with no name?
I don't think we did, no.
I think German, I think you had his birthplace as Germany.
Yeah, we did. That was where I had the,
But we didn't do German without a name.
Oh.
no, that was this one, where I had no name, but I did a search for January 1869, born in Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No name with Jan 1869 plus minus, whoops, 1 year, born in me and Sac and adjacent. All right, anything else that we can recall that we did?
Did you find his marriage? I had to get up for a minute.
Well, no, we're just trying to recall all the steps that we've done for searching him for the 1900 census. So that
Oh,
we
I see.
don't repeat those again.
Well, that makes
And
good sense.
so, all right. Now, I am curious to know whether I can get a precinct map, California precinct map 1900.
Would he have had to register for the draft for World War I, or was he too old by then?
We'll add that to our to-do list.
Okay.
Okay, so what have we got here? Okay, so I didn't spell that right. Let's see what that says. Okay, so we're looking at the Library of Congress, and we're looking at map 1900 election districts maps. Okay, let's see, how do we add stuff? Date, location. Oh, I love this. It's in alphabetical order. California.
At the very bottom. Yep.
Okay. So we've got
Oh, Santa Ana, that probably wouldn't help.
okay, these are also okay. Can we narrow it down to
Counties?
so it doesn't it doesn't have anything before 1950. All right, so that's not helping us. You lied. You said
Yeah.
now we know it is Sacramento. This is Sanborn.
That would, later on, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Right.
You can't
Once
get down
you
to
give
your dates.
Yeah, once you get a good address for him.
Too.
Sanborn fire insurance maps. Are these set up by, oh no, that's just Elk Grove. Must include 1900.
Catalog of Public Records, City of Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
New Helvetia, that would be what, Switzerland?
Images, topographic maps. Okay, we're not having instant luck with this, and I'm only interested in instant luck.
Like that kind of
Aren't we all?
Right. So let's try, it was precinct 10-4, right?
Yeah.
So precinct 10-4. And how are these listed? Okay, they do have the let's try this then. Now they would have, let's do 10-by-4 and let's do Sacramento. Okay, I just want to see how the 1900 census for Sacramento is organized. So I want to go to the 1900 census for, let's just get Sacramento. Okay. And let's see. So we've got Sacramento. Okay, then it's by township.
Mhm.
Hello? Yes. Yes. Okay. Could I call you, or could you call me back in an hour? Because I'm in a meeting right now. Okay. Do you just need my approval on something? Okay. August 6, 1958, 2757 Avenida de Soto, Navarre, Florida, 32566. Yes. And yes. No, that will be all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So it does have precincts. Okay, so I'm looking at Sacramento Ward 1, Precinct 1, Precinct 2, Precinct,
That's still one.
right?
Well, the second one isn't.
Precinct 1. Precinct 2. Okay, so that, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that is 9. Let me see if any of these others. Well, what the heck? Let's just go through and see. No, I wanted to see.
Nice writing anyway. Good on them.
It's not going to take us long to see if we've got.
I didn't mean to monopolize the whole time. Didn't you say someone else was coming or needed to do something?
Yeah, but I want to spend a whole session on that one.
Okay.
Because I want Rosie to be able to be in on the whole thing. But these are all, the whole point of these meetings is to try stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so I've learned from this. If you guys haven't, well, screw you.
I'm nice.
Come on, guys, you got to be able to learn from everything.
Yeah, I just hope it stays in the head.
But the thing is, I'm sure I've done this stuff before and I've forgotten it. So isn't that interesting? I did not realize that all of these parts of Sacramento had names like Alabama and
I know.
Mississippi.
Crazy.
I lived in Sacramento. I have no idea. That makes me
I know.
I live there
The
for
Mississippi one keeps hitting me hard because every time I come across it, I'm like, oh, no, I'm in the wrong state. And then I realize, oh, no, yeah, you're still in the right state.
Yeah, the state where I was born, I think the county was Mississippi County.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Oak Park precincts, but so the only ones that are actually telling us a precinct number
In Sacramento.
are Sacramento. Okay, well, that's definitely something I'm going to want to spend some more time on, but it will be paint dry. So we'll hold that off. What else can we think of for searching for him in the 1900 census? Okay, so we,
Is this guy married or have any kids?
not yet.
Okay.
So we reviewed,
Why don't we find him in his father's household? Did he come with his father?
in Sacramento in 1900 census to see if we could find the precinct 10-4, but only precincts 1 and 2 were named.
Right.
Okay. So, all right. So now, I still want to.
Didn't somebody say they had an obit for this man?
Yes, she has his obituary.
Yes, it only lists his wife and his daughter.
Yeah, but sometimes you can learn stuff that way too by looking at the others.
Oh yes.
Very
I'm
true.
just reminding us that when we have a question, before we give up on it, we really want to make sure that we have explored all aspects of it. We want to get him in the 1900 census. And so I want to find out where that is. And that's something that's going to be on my to-do list. And I'll want to, I checked the LOC map collection, but nothing earlier than 1950 for Sacramento, for California. Okay.
Could someone even back then have eluded a census and not done a census or been involved in a census? Like today they keep saying, please make sure you do your census information, but I do it. Like my nephew's moved around a lot all year. He may not wind up doing it.
Anywhere, yeah.
More likely, see, back then, you had the census being largely completed by a guy going around with a piece of paper.
Right, right.
And if there was an empty house, and he goes back to that empty house a couple of times, he's going to go to the next door and say, who lives at that empty house? And they're going to say, oh, that's, so-and-so. And they're going to give whatever information they've got. And the enumerator is going to write that down.
And who knows how correct that is?
Who knows how correct that is? And that's why I was willing to consider that maybe Anton Fritz was actually, that German guy, Anton something, Anton. So you're in this time period, you're more likely to find somebody enumerated twice than to not find them at all.
At all? Okay.
Right. And I've found that frequently the case where I'll have, she is living in her father's household in the census, and she is also living in her sister's household in the census. And so basically what you can guess is that she went to visit her sister, the census taker came by, and she was listed as a member of the household. And when the census taker went by Dad's house, he said, well, who lives here? And Dad told him. So in this case, you're more likely to expect that they're in there twice.
Okay.
And they do today, and you can ask Lynn about this, they do an awful lot to make sure they get you.
Everybody.
I mean, she is going out. The first thing that she did was they went out and just made sure they knew what every address was on every building. And that was even before they were going to, send the censuses out. So they're going to make sure, because the amount of money they receive from the federal government and their political clout, the number of representatives they get depends on their population. And so they take it really seriously. So you don't want to write it off without really digging into it, because it's very rare that somebody would miss the census.
Okay.
But remembering that the information could have been provided by the next door neighbor, then you've got to get creative about it. And you've got to think, what might the next door neighbor have thought? Or who was the next door neighbor? And that's where you want to think about, who was he living around? And you want to look for, let's say that we know in the 1910 census that our Anton was living next door to Isaac Palmer. Well, let's go look for Isaac Palmer in the 1900 census and see if we can find an Anton living near him. So you really have to be a detective.
Yeah.
And the reason that we're interested in the 1900 census is that it gives us so much information. It confirms, if it's correct, the month and year of birth. It tells you how many children the mother had and how many were still living at the time of that census. So here we have this family it tells you how long they've been married. So they've been married 5 years. They had 2 children. One of them is already deceased. So we know that there's already another child that we would want to look at. And then it's got the information about when they arrived and when they naturalized, and whether they rented or owned. So if we hadn't found this guy in 1910, I would say, my God, he looks just like our guy. I mean, 1873, he's naturalized, he's a day laborer, born, so that's why we wanted to create the profile for Anton.
Oh, okay.
And research him so that we could say, oh, he absolutely is not Anton. Okay, so then at some point you say, I am really sick of looking for that 1900 census, and someday I will look for that precinct and do some research on how to find precincts. But let's clear out some of the stuff we've got and see if we can find him in that, because we've got about, well, how close are your minds to exploding right now?
Mine's not too bad because I came in late. So.
Okay. This would actually.
Can I throw something in right here?
Yes.
It might be useful to see who on FamilySearch has contributed information or search for information and talk to them. Couldn't hurt.
Yes. So let's add that. Whoops. Let's add that to our list. Oops, nope, no, I don't want to add a comment. I want to edit. Okay, and 8. Check with people who have contributed to Anton's profile. Do they have any documents?
Or further information, whatever.
Right, found, or other info, or family stories.
Yeah,
Right.
those are
Okay.
always fun.
I think that I'd like to hold off on looking for the naturalization records. That's going to be an interesting one, and so let's do that one earlier on when we're sharper and more people are still with us.
Yeah. Have you got the father's name?
Well,
And have you got Anton's father's name?
The only thing it says on his death record is his surname, which is Wortman.
Oh,
okay, and that's why we're real interested in
No help.
more information. What about Wortman's in California in general in 1900?
if there's a way to find out, it couldn't hurt.
Okay, so let's do a search for Wortman, and I'm going to clear out. Let's just clear that, and we'll do Wortman.
Or maybe a 2N.
Right, it should look for both, and we're doing a Wortman living in Sacramento, California.
Or even surrounding counties.
But we can't do that with
No.
FamilySearch.
That's right.
So-
Ancestry.
Let's just do a search for Wortman, unrestricted, restricted to Sacramento County, California. And we only have 526. Let's see where those spread. So we have 3 in 1880. We actually have them going back to 1850.
When did they come?
1910. Let's see what these 1880s. So these are workmen, and they're born in England. That's not going to help us.
Nope.
Let's go back to our birth. Well, actually, let's go back to search all collections. Now scroll down here, and we're going to filter by birthplace as Europe and Germany. So now we're looking at all the Germans, and we've got the 1944, 1930, and the 1920 census. So we're not having luck with Wortman's in Sacramento. Let's try Wortman's in California.
Well, when you first started this, the Wortman thing, when you got the censuses, and there was 1850, 80, and then 1910 or 1900. 1910, there wasn't even a 1900, so did
Right.
it's not then downloaded into the computer yet?
You know, what we were looking for here in the 1850 and so forth was a very open
Right.
search. So the 1850, okay, Workman,
Workman, right.
right.
But,
So,
but there was no option for even 1900 on there.
right. And so even this guy Workman, they got him wrong, which is interesting. So we know that they have got the 1900 census because we found Fritz in 1900.
Oh, okay. But, okay, just couldn't
Right.
come up with your collections.
Right. So now I was wondering is what do we have for Wortmans?
In California. Yeah.
Right. Let's just see in general, living in California, what collections. So we've got, let's see, sorting by title. So I can see that we've got, you know, a lot here.
Is there an 1870? He was born in 69.
Right, what I would like to do is I want to start restricting this name. So it could be Wortman, it could be well, it could be that they got and let's just see if we've got something with a T. W, something after that, a T, M-A-N, and possibly another N. Do we get anything here?
California step 52, that's too early.
And so let's put a restriction on that. Interesting, they got quite a lot of them. Let's see what they've got. Oh, Westman, Reichman. Okay, let us now scroll down. So we got 348. Let's scroll down and look at people born in continental Europe and narrow that down to Germany. And so
29.
29. Let's
There's oh no, that's too late.
let's go to the filter. I like these filters, and so I really want to press this. Rather than looking through them, even though there's only 29, I want you to make use of the filters. So let's look and see how they're distributed in the state. We've got them in, well, they should be in California because I specified that. All right, so Alameda, Butte. We've got 22 of them.
In Sacramento.
And we don't have that Nevada county that we talked about. At this, you might want to, and if you're not familiar with California's counties, you want to pull up just a county map and let's see what are the counties next to. So here's Sacramento County, Placer, El Dorado, Amador, Calaveras, San Joaquin, Contra Costa, Solano, Yolo,
Sutter, and Placer.
And right.
Placer there, yeah.
Okay, and there's Nevada right above it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've now got a little sense of where he was. You know, probably in this area, definitely in the gold zone. So less likely to see him down here in San Joaquin, Contra Costa, Yuba, even Yolo. We're expecting to see him up in this area. So I'd be looking for, you know, Nevada, Placer, El Dorado, or Sacramento. All right.
Sutter is a gold mining area too.
Where's Sutter? Yeah, Sutter.
North.
That's true. That's true. It's more northeast. And
Yeah,
we've seen, I'm just because we've seen him.
is in Nevada. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So let's see. We've got Alameda. No plaster. No.
There's YOLO.
There's YOLO. Or okay, well, so that's we can go back and forth and see. All right. So let's check these for Sacramento County. And we've got Whiteman's. That's definitely not Whiteman.
Whitman.
And are these restricted by birthplace? No, we want to restrict these down to continental. Only one for continental Europe.
No.
We've got a Whitman living in Sacramento in
Ward 1, Precinct 1.
right. He
The
was
border.
born in 1881. So he would be, I mean, I'm just, always looking at the possibility that his name was badly Wortman. Yeah, you could see that somebody, Whitman doesn't sound like a German name.
Mm.
It sounds like an English name, so it could have been, let's see. Yell if you see it.
Not yet.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
So rumored house. He's from Germany. He could be anything. He's too young for us because our guy was born in
69. Yeah.
69. And so, okay, let me put the dog out. What's really interesting to me is there are no Wortmans in California. So that's just real interesting to me. Let's go look at all collections again. And
Okay.
there at
There's a WERTMAN, Switzerland.
right, that's 1940. I want to see, so there's really only 26 records for anybody with a W something TMAN.
Mm-hmm.
That just
It's weird.
Yep.
right. And if we go for Wortman, I'm wondering if that
1870, residence 1930, immigration 1888, Mabel A. and
no, these are 1920s. We've already got these guys. So
Oh, okay.
I'm just wondering about this name. I am wondering if we're looking at a case of, and we do have, I'm just wondering if we're looking at a case of it just being badly butchered.
Badly.
Let's see if we've got what our any birthplace tells us. Okay, so it does not like the name Wortman. Let's see how many we've got for Anton's. Anton something in California. And let's update that. And
It was a girl, and I had wondered if maybe that was his daughter.
well, we're not going to get distracted. We're going to stay focused on this idea that we're looking for an Anton who was born in Germany or Switzerland. So 59 Switzerland, 44 Germany.
Could be Austria as well.
We've not seen Austria associated with him.
Okay.
We've seen Switzerland.
Well, when was Austro-Germany, and when did that get broken up?
That's a good point.
Well, there's also northern parts of Italy that have been in Germany over the years that have gone back and forth.
My
I
question
didn't
is,
know that.
where is his father? And
Yeah.
why are we not finding his father in, so let's go back, let's clear our entire search. And let's go back to search all collections, reset everything, and do a search for anything. Let's go to Ancestry, because they give me a greater sense of power and control over my search.
Well, we know he's naturalized due to his father, so his father obviously was here.
Exactly. So let's go for Wortman. And let's do sounds like similar or sound X, being very generous. And let's say that he was in Sacramento County, California. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there and adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And we're going to immediately go to look at our categories and see what we have for the census results.
They got 78, 1900, you got 78 of them.
Right. Now they, all right, so here it's giving us broad. So I'm going to narrow it down to exact, sounds like, or similar, and update that. Okay, so we've got just a handful. Let's see, nothing for the we've got 3 for the 1900 census.
No, 1890. We've been there.
Okay, and here's that
Pity and Will.
Pity and Will. Now Wortman, that could be. Let's see the 1880. Okay, so now we're seeing some in we're seeing some in 1800s.
This last one, Wortman in Placer County, born in Bremen. I think Bremen's spelled wrong, but that's Germany.
Right. Right.
Wortman sounds German.
Right. He was born in 1843.
Which would make it about right. That could be dad.
Right, for being dad. So we're going to take a look at that. And this is, so he is the only one from Germany?
Uh-huh. Yeah, according to that record right there.
So we've got William, Laura,
William,
and Elva. So we've got this family of Wortmans, and we have this independent Wortman.
From Bremen, Germany.
And this, so we have, and this guy is down in Stockton.
Remember that in the late 1880s, Anton is in Placer.
Right, right. So this guy is living in Placer, actually.
Oh, Placer, my bad.
It's out of Placer Mining.
That was just a little bit north, I think, the county, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it
From
is.
what we were looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's there's Placer County right here.
Uh-huh.
So
My cousin lives in Yuba.
this is looking really where did he go? This is looking as a person of interest. So you know what I do with people of interest?
We're gonna
Mark
create.
them down and go for it.
We're gonna create a
I'm going to create a profile
file.
for J. Wortman.
It was Worth. It was W-O-R, what was it?
Is somebody not muted? I don't
I'm
know.
not, but I can't do it from here, I don't
Well, I don't
think.
know. I just kept getting, now isn't that interesting? Bremen is, let's just put that for now. And he was born in,
Wasn't his name W-O-R-T-H or something?
well, Wortman.
Oh, you're not going to put it exactly. You're just going for
Yeah,
what you-
I think he's a Wortman. I think
Okay.
he's our guy. He's deceased. He's a male. And let's do next. We'll create
No
him.
match found poo. Oh, okay.
And so let's go to find him in Placer when he is written as Wortman. And he's
John
resided-
Henrik,
Don't get distracted.
I'm not, I'm just reading down the
Don't
list.
read them because that distracts.
Oh, okay.
But you've got, yeah, they're not related to what we're looking for. We're staying focused on what we're looking for, which is this Wortman in the Placer census. So he's living in Colfax, Placer County. And so we want to research him and find his records, because his son may not have arrived until some
At the
later
same
time.
Yeah, right.
But his father didn't get citizen. He was alive for his father to get citizenship, which made him a citizen too. So
Right.
after the birth of the boy, or the young Wortman.
Right. Okay, so let's,
Oh, I hear my son back on the motorcycle. Now I can rest easy.
okay.
I get nervous when that boy goes out on those wheels.
Okay, so we've got him. And let us see what other collections. We just got that census. All right, so now let's do a search for a Wortman. We'll put an asterisk in there. And we want him born in Germany and living in California. And let's see, we've got just that. What's this obituary? Well, we've only got a handful. Okay, born in 1945, 1980, nothing.
780.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, so those aren't obvious. Okay.
Mhm.
And what was that newspaper obituary? Okay, so that was late too. Okay, so we are not finding this Wortman. Maybe he insists on being born in Bremen. Let's
Mom,
forget
not
that.
here. Yeah.
And let's just look for him in California. And let's search all collections and see I want to get rid of the initial because we only found one. We found that over here on Ancestry.
Mhm.
So we only found, looking very broadly, this was looking at 1880. So let's see what we had for other censuses. Okay, we have 1880. Do we have 1900?
Yeah, right below it.
Okay. So we had those three that we've already seen.
Right.
And do we have $1870?
No, 1880. That 50, 60, and 80. There's no 1870.
80. What do we have for 1900? Okay.
AF. Yeah, this AF Wortman.
But you notice we don't have the old guy anymore.
No, But maybe he's changed his name again.
Right.
The bottom one could be the same guy. Of course, he's
Well, this is our AF. We found him.
Oh, okay.
And we've
Okay.
attached him.
Okay.
And so we're wondering, what I'm also wondering is, where is that Great Register? And if we look at the Great Registers that we've been finding, let's go here. So I'm pulling up this collection.
Okay.
I'm pulling up the collection of Great Registers for California. And I want to search for this collection for Wortman. And so now let's see where these guys are.
Do by birthplace.
Well, let's see birthplace. We've got 40 from continental Europe. And there's our Anton. Let us also see, now this is interesting. Remember when I did a restriction on residence place?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I only want to see, well, I can't show it to you now. I only want to see people who are residing in Sacramento County.
Right.
I want you to notice that the option of filtering by residence does not exist.
Look here, Ferdinand Wortman, born birth 1838, Germany, now lives in Sacramento. You might try him.
Hold on, Pat. I don't want to jump to looking at the list. I know that the temptation is to just start looking at the list, but I want to think about, I've got here 40 people, I could have 200. I want you to use these filters. And I want you to notice what filters are available. And the location, if you'll notice, the location is not residence, it's other. So we want to go in and we want to filter by the other location. So we're going to go California. And now we can see we've got El Dorado County.
Which is close by.
Nevada County, a couple, and we've already seen him in Nevada County. We've got Sacramento County. So I'm going to, it doesn't let me do my open in another, so I'm going to have to go one at a time. So let's look at the Sacramento. So we had Antone Ferdinand, born in 1870. We have a Ferdinand, born in 1838.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to take
And another in 1839.
and I'm going to pull it down into a separate window. So I want to have, so this is a registration for 1882. Here is a registration for 5 August 1875.
Oh, that would probably be way better.
Now, that August 1875, so I'm going to open each
August
of these.
1st, 1871 is when I have him as naturalized.
Right.
That address matches as well.
Right. That's a good thing. We want to look. Do we see? So let's get this Ferdinand Wortman. And we're going to create a profile for him. And male, deceased, save, create. Okay, so now we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to here, and let's take a look at, first let's attach it. And here's Ferdinand. I'm going to just make sure, select him. Born in Germany, voter registration 1882. And now I'm going to go back to the record, and we can take a look at it here.
Very good.
What was that?
No, it looks pretty good.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be all scribbly for some reason.
Yes. Well,
There's
so-
Ferdinand,
like hit or
44,
miss.
right there.
Up above, right
Yep.
there.
Ferdinand, age 40, I guess.
Where is he? I don't see him.
Your arrow is just under him. Go up a hair.
There he goes. Okay.
Yep.
Occupation, interesting, commission, I don't know. He's living at 630 San Francisco.
Sacramento.
Sorry. Sacramento. Naturalized on 4 August 1870. Does that look
In
familiar?
District
to
4,
you?
District 4 Court in San Francisco in 1875 August.
Isn't that the same date?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
And
I
the
got
same
the
place.
Okay. So,
So is this his father?
so
I'm thinking it is.
could be father, could be uncle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we would go through and we would add all of these in. And now here I'm just interested in, we've got 10 of them, 94, 82, 75, 75, 96, 88, 96, 92. So we do not see anything for 1900 here, but we do have that unindexed 1900 census. We do see him in these that say 1875. What are the dates on these?
Well, the far date on the right said August 30th. When you scroll over.
Well, I was interested in the year. What year is this?
75, I thought.
That's the date of registration.
Okay. And there's different years on there.
Right, everybody's got a different year.
Looks like 18. Where does it say? At the far right, it says date of registration. I can't.
Do we see the, is he
No,
here yet?
scroll
Not
down.
yet.
Is this alphabetized?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah, so there he
There
is.
we go. All the way to the far right.
Nice to the bottom.
Saloon keeper.
Okay.
Yeah, August 5th of 75.
Okay, what are we looking at here? We're on page 86.
And now he's 6 in this year.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. What page or do we have a page number up here? Page 26. Okay, so let's go to.
Register of the City and County of San Francisco. Yeah.
Oh, our last meeting is going to end before we're able to finish this.
That's
Okay,
terrible.
oops, 55. Okay. So 86 said that we were on page 26. So 80 says we're on 19. Oh, I just noticed something.
What?
It's in San Francisco.
Yeah, you know that she said that earlier.
Yeah. So,
But he gets married in San Francisco as well. When he marries Mabel in 1912, they marry in San Francisco.
all right. So we
I don't
were
know.
doing our other play.
It's on the very, yeah, these, okay.
Let's, so we want to find him in San Francisco. Hold on, Tasha. I will get to you as soon as I can.
You sound like me and so.
Hold it, huh?
We've got 8 minutes here.
Oh, just hang in. It's hot outside.
Jeez. All right, so let's do a Wortman in, I want to do all collections. Why is it restricting me to? All right, so we'll just go back to here. And I'm going to do a Ferdinand Wortman in San Francisco. Okay, and there he is in 1900
Ah,
with his wife, no, with somebody.
somebody, yeah.
All right, so he is working as a lodger. We'll review and attach him. Just hold your horses, Natasha. She is not going to hold.
This is.
She's telling you, Mama, I'm desperate.
All right. So, this is 1880. It is going to tell us a relationship. Wouldn't it be lovely if that's his daughter and he's
Living with her, yeah.
married?
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's his wife.
Is this what we're thinking is Anton's father
Father or uncle.
or uncle?
So he's a lodger. He's married. We don't have his wife, so he's interesting. Let's go back here, and we have the 9 results. So we have Anna, 1920. Here we have him in 1870.
Prussia.
Living in San Francisco.
And
Lots of
there's
people.
only one of them.
That's with the birds.
Go back up where you saw Michigan. Oh, God.
hold on, I just want to see 1, 2, 3. Oh, Shuttleworth and Wortman. Okay, where you saw Michigan?
Yeah, I thought I saw Michigan in all this list of. I did. Charles Burr. I was trying to figure out who the name was. It's not
Okay.
necessarily ringing a bell for me.
If he was married and maybe his wife is back in Sacramento and he's going back and forth doing all kinds of jobs, trying to make money because it's the late 1800s and I don't know.
Or he is married and his wife is back in Germany
Or that, true.
and she has not come over.
He doesn't
And
want
he came over and is here in the US. She's still in Germany.
Yeah.
She's going to be here. And look, we've got all of these possible duplicates.
Also, this is the 1870s, right? And his son was just born in January of 69, actually. Yeah, a year,
Right.
like 18 months before.
So
probably.
he may have impregnated his wife, left for the US. His son was born in Germany and later came and joined him.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to find his naturalization. And because we know he was naturalized in 1875. And so we'll find that in the naturalization papers. So here's some of these other people. We've got Ferdinand Wortman, registered. Okay, that's ours. Now we've got him in
Gustav Wortman.
Gustav Wortman.
And that says dated 1869.
Right. In which case, this can't be ours because, or else ours could not have been born in January of 1869.
Well, unless he's got women all over the place, one in Germany, one in California.
But also, we don't know if this guy ever made it to the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, but what the other one is another. Okay, so they have created these profiles based on the births, so we can't make any judgments about them. So our line of attack is going to be to find Ferdinand Wortman's 1875 naturalization paper. And we are going to look for that. We have the date.
If he's naturalized through his father, we'll still be able to find that?
We're going to find Ferdinand's.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Right. His on the 5th of August, 1875, San Francisco 4th
District Court.
District Court. And that is what we're going to do next week.